Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Ranting Monkey's Monkey in the Morning. How you guys doing today? Hope everybody's well out there. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I'm going to be talking to you for about 2 hours about this and that, and of course other things as well. Sorry about not doing a show yesterday. It's been a rough couple of days for Monk, but Monk is in a great mood. Let me tell you something. The middle little was over, and we were hanging out today, and she's sitting there playing with the doll, and she stops and she goes, "Grandpa." I said, "Yeah, baby." She goes, will you be mine forever? And I just went, "Of course I will. Of course." And that's the thing. Those are the moments that, with all the shit you got to deal with in a day, when a little person looks at you and asks, "Will you be mine forever?" And you're just like, with no prompting, no, like, "Hey, do you want me to be?" No, just out of the blue, pure love, unfettered from the bullshit of life. And you have to enjoy those moments because they're little, and at some point grandpa's not going to be cool anymore. I understand it. I understand grandpa's not going to be cool forever, but uh right now I am, so I'm going to enjoy it. And it just, the little ones fill grandpa's heart with joy, and I'm so happy to have him around when I can. But yeah, let's talk about the bullshit in our world. There's a good story to start you off before we get into the bullshit. Actually, the first part of it is oops, knocking over my medicines here. God bless. I take a lot. I'm like an old man now. I take a shit ton of medicine. Anyhow, um, the Supreme Court. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. These boys and girls, mostly the boys, got it right. Got it right a couple of times recently, and boy, do the liberals not like it. Specifically, the first one, the big one, the Environmental Protection Agency being told to go fuck themselves with their nonsense bullshit rules that they make up out of nowhere. And in fairness to the EPA, the Supreme Court kind of gave them that power about 20 years ago, even though they shouldn't have it at all. They should only have the power that the Congress gives them specifically, and the court ruled, no. What we really mean is just in kind of general. You make up what you need to make up to protect the wetlands. Those wetlands need protected. Those swamps, which, hell, a lot of them aren't even wetlands. Do you guys know that? Did you know that a lot of the wetlands, I'm using air quotes, I know you can't see, but a lot of the wetlands that oh, the wetland, they're not even fucking wetlands. It's a place that gets a little muddy for part of the year. And like, there's water there. That's a wetland. Now, the rest of the year, 6-8 months of the year, there's no fucking water there. But it's a wetland because it had a little bit of water there at one time. That is bullshit. And they can then be like, nope, you can't do anything here. You have to give us a big fat chunk of money if you even want to consider it. Jack, my friend, how you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. You're a wetland.
I am a wetland. I've been wet before, and therefore I'm a wetland. They have
Nice.
the dumbest goddamn rules for this.
Uh-huh. I
Well,
told you, I know farmers
uh-oh. Am I already cutting out?
that have gotten fucked by this before.
Well,
That's me.
oh, was it you? I'm going to
Yeah,
switch
it
to
was
my
me.
other internet real fast, so just talk for a second.
Okay. It's my internet, but he switched it over. So I don't know what to tell you on that one. Just roll with it, kids.
Okay, there we go.
Let's go.
I just wanted to switch to the other one because this one has less problems. Yeah, the case in point here was not about farmers, though. A lot of farmers do get screwed with this shit, but this
Yeah,
was
this one was about somebody building a house, right?
yeah, they bought some land, and there was wetlands there.
It was a giant mud puddle. That's what
It was a
that
mud
was.
puddle. Yeah. Now, when the laws were written, what it said is wetlands that are connected to ponds and rivers, and any big body of water. They had to be adjacent with a continuous connection to them.
Yep.
That's what the law says. And the Supreme Court about 20 years ago went, no. If it's wet at all ever. If it rains there, pretty much the EPA can take control of it under the bullshit rulings that they've given. And so this couple who buys this land, there's a tiny little part that gets wet now and then, and they fixed it so it doesn't get wet anymore. You know, how can you do that with a wetland, Jack?
You can't. No,
And
it's just EPA flexing their power and trying to grab money.
yep. And so
land.
the EPA comes in and goes, "Oh, you guys didn't get a permit to get rid of this wetland."
You're damaging the ecosystem, you fucking monster.
Yeah, and luckily, 5 of the justices said, "No, that's stupid. We can't do that shit."
Yeah.
One of them, who's of the 4, Kavanaugh, fucking Kavanaugh's like, "No, it's been a rule since," he says, since 1977. It's been interpreted this way. Bullshit. If it had been interpreted that way since 1977, there wouldn't have been a case 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those areas that's super gray, and the EPA's just been doing whatever they want because the information on it is fairly obfuscated.
Yeah.
So they've just been doing whatever they want without anybody stopping them.
Now, it's not as restrictive as I would have liked.
Yeah.
But they did restrict them, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, anytime you put the brakes on government abusing their powers, I'm happy.
Boy, are the environmentalists mad. I saw this is going to ruin the air. Like, what?
Because somebody wanted to build a house. There were houses in between these people's house and the lake.
Yeah.
Like, it was not a continuous stream of water. It was literally a giant puddle.
Yeah.
There were houses in between where they were and the lake the EPA said they couldn't build between. But total horse shit.
Yeah, let's do this one. This is the Washington Post version of this. It's telling us what this ruling means, Jack.
Oh, yeah. I need the Post.
And I'm gonna give them a little bit of credit here. Because while they report some absolute bullshit,
most of the time, yeah,
they at least tell us well, I'll get to it. Bogs, marshes, swamps, fens, all are examples of wetlands. And anywhere a little tiny puddle pops up. But the type of wetland that gets protection under federal law is a matter of wide dispute. Well, it wasn't until this case. What usually happened, you could say it's wide dispute, but every time it went to court, they always sided with the EPA going, yes, they can absolutely treat you like shit over this. One reset by a sweeping ruling Thursday from the U.S. Supreme Court. At issue was the reach of a 51-year-old Clean Water Act and how courts should determine what counts as waters of the United States under that law. Nearly 2 decades ago, the court ruled that wetlands are protected by the Clean Water Act if they have a significant nexus to regulated waters.
Yeah, that's a little.
Could that be more fucking vague?
No, but they do that shit on purpose. The people running these agencies are power grabbing authoritarians.
And the Supreme Court has ruled with them way too often. And I see we'll get to it in a second, but there's a lot of people mad about this. Oh. Like, do you understand that these people are just grabbing power? All of you people who are like, Trump's a fascist. You do realize that there's very fascistic things going on in our government already, right? Authoritarian bullshit.
Well, it's got so much worse since the Patriot Act, too.
Where are we at here? The Supreme Court decided that rule no longer applies and said it's not a rule. That ruling, there's a difference between a rule and a ruling. A lot of times rulings are wrong. And while written rules can be, this wasn't a rule. This was not something Congress passed down. This was not part of the law. This is not what the EPA was set up to do. So this was a ruling, you fucking asshole. Anyway, and said that the Environmental Protection Agency's interpretation of its powers went too far. See, that's the problem right there. The EPA should not be the ones interpreting their power.
No, that's Congress's job.
Their power should be very specifically written. Frankly, they shouldn't exist, but it should be specifically written by Congress.
Yeah.
Their powers went too far, giving it regulatory power beyond what Congress had authorized. Here's what you need to know about the ruling. How did the court rule? Writing for the 5 justices of the court, Justice Samuel A. Alito ruled that the Clean Water Act extends only to those wetlands with a continuous surface connection to bodies that are waters of the United States in their own right, so that they are indistinguishable from those waters. Basically, anything that is on the side of a river that is still marshy and all that kind of shit, that's a wetland. Once you move away and you got some dry land, you can't then say that a little marshy area a mile down the road is connected to this thing, which is what they do until yesterday. Where are we? He was joined by Justice John Roberts, Chief Justice John Roberts, Justice Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, and Amy Coney Barrett. Some environmental groups and legal experts. I love the legal experts, Jack.
Yeah.
We're the legal experts. Estimate that the decision will remove federal protection from half of all wetlands in the continental United States. Half.
Yeah, then they're not real wetlands.
Yeah. According to estimates from Earth Justice, an environmental law firm, the decision will prevent the EPA from placing federal protection on as many as 118 million acres of wetland, an area larger than the landmass of California.
Oh my God, you mean people will be able to use their own land again? Those bastards.
Those estimates could not be immediately confirmed. This is the part where at least I'm giving a little bit of credit, because they admit that they didn't even double check that, or you shouldn't have put it in your article at all if you can't confirm it. I mean, you're the news, but I mean, you're saying that they said it, but I saw a guy back in the 80s with a sign that said, the Earth would be dead by 1990, giant asteroid. So
yeah,
probably shouldn't just print everything you hear. Anyway, the estimate could not be immediately confirmed, but the ruling is expected to give farmers, home builders, and other developers far more latitude to disturb lands previously regulated under the Clean Water Act.
Oh, has nobody thought of the ducks? What will the ducks do?
The ruling affects one of the EPA's most fundamental authorities, its ability to protect upstream waters. Fuck off.
That is not what the ruling did.
No, it's not. You can still do this. You're if it's an upstream water connected to the stream, then it's still protected.
Maybe they mean upstream adjacent, like 4 farm fields over.
Crippers United said, "Holy shit, as a drainage engineer, this is huge news to me." Oh yeah, this is going to change your life, dude. A whole bunch of hoops you used to have to jump through, don't have to anymore. Thank you, Cass One. Hey, Mr. Medicare is a valid candidate for president. His plan for both the economy and the environment is sweeping and unbiased. I wish him well, although I'm running too, so I can't endorse him.
I'll endorse both of you. How's that?
My economy, or my plan for everything, is I'll leave you the fuck alone, and that does mean getting rid of some regulations that are fucking with you already. So.
Is Jim still alive? Do we know how he's doing?
Oh, that says Mr. Meteor. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Johnny Hellcat, thank you. Fuck them. Fuck them. They can go. You know what? I don't see ducks hanging around little puddles that have been created.
Your audio is ducking in and out. Can you repeat that?
Not much I can do. Where did I get cut off there?
You didn't get cut off. You just sound like you're in a wind tunnel, like you're far away.
Am I better?
Yeah, you're better now.
Oh, okay. I was having that problem talking with Satsu the other day. We weren't even streaming, and I don't know why it's doing it. I'll figure it out. Anyway, so moving along. All of the justices thought the EPA got it wrong regarding the couple who brought the case. Michael and Chantel Sackett, who want to build homes on their property near one of Idaho's largest waterways, Priest Lake. but the justices disagreed on other particulars. Now, I've seen in chat people, it's 9-0. I know that it's 9-0, but this is where it breaks down. The 9-0 is on them on this part in particular. But Justice Brett Kavanaugh took issue with the majority ruling that the EPA lacks authority to regulate wetlands that are separate from covered water by a dike, levee, or other barrier.
Wow, that's homophobic.
It really is, right? What's he got against dikes, man?
I don't know.
I've
seen a lot of their documentaries, and they do the Lord's work sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, they're wet, but that doesn't make them a wet land.
That's true.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're into ducks. I don't know.
The court concluded that wetlands in the second category are not covered as adjacent water or wetlands because those wetlands do not have a continuous surface connection to a covered water. In other words, those wetlands are not adjoining the covered water, he wrote. I disagree because the statutory text, adjacent, does not require a continuous surface connection between those wetlands and covered waters. I'll have to go actually read the Clean Water Act. I have read it before, but it's been a long, long time. I'm sorry, you can't just go, well, it's near it, because that's not what was meant by it. They could have wrote that into the law. Devin Knox, thank you so much. Why are people on social media saying to wear masks? I have no freaking clue.
No idea.
They're like telling people to start wearing masks again, or is it because of the EPA ruling? Are the air's going to get dirty because of this water ruling? Keldrick, thank you. Speaking of once popular but now rarely heard of YouTubers, Jeff Holiday said he'd never seen a bigger pussy than Benny Johnson. Jeff did not appreciate it when I suggested he look in a mirror. Wow. Who the hell's Benny Johnson?
I don't know. It sounds like somebody you'd see on like the religious channel.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Benny Johnson needs money for a plane.
Yeah, I'm not shocked that he didn't take it kindly when you pointed to him.
Yeah, he doesn't like that too much.
Are there examples of areas that would lose protection? Yes. Environmentalists said wetland. Why are you asking environmentalists? These people are insane.
They're also, a little bit biased, I would say.
I am all for protecting things, Jack, protecting the environment, but they go too far. The whole wetlands thing, especially, this has been used. Abused is the word. I say used, but it has been abused so much over the years.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is your property. There's a tiny little wetland, and there's a river about, a mile down the road here. So it's connected to it. You're going to have to give us a shit ton of money if you want to build this here. It's basically a shakedown.
Oh, it's absolutely a shakedown. And you still have to pay taxes on that land you can't develop or do anything with.
Yep. Yeah, and even if you apply for the permits and stuff, which does cost you money to apply, doesn't mean they're going to allow it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they don't.
Oh, we're being told Benny Johnson is part of Turning Point. He has his own podcast.
Oh, okay. 118 million. Let's go with their estimate there, Jack. 118 million acres. California-sized land that is not right next to a river or a lake or anything else that is clearly covered by the Clean Water Act. 118 million acres that could be used if it wasn't for the EPA going, oh, we don't think so.
Yeah. Sorry, you don't get to do that because we decided we don't like you. We don't like the way you vote. We don't like the sign you had on your lawn, Mr. Trump supporter.
Farmland, homeland, all kinds of places for people to build stuff, shopping centers, all of this stuff that either it's really expensive and a pain in the ass to get done, or they just won't let you do it because there's a river close. And remember, close doesn't have a definition.
Yeah.
It doesn't say like within 2 miles or 5 miles or 10 miles. It's just adjacent. Piss off. By that standard, the entirety of Virginia should not be allowed to be built on.
Well, yeah, it's surrounded by rivers.
The whole goddamn thing is a swamp.
Yeah.
Until you get close to the mountains, it's swamp. The city of Virginia Beach is sinking. Our high school was sinking at a rate of something like um, a quarter of an inch, whatever that would be, an eighth of an inch, I guess. It's a really small amount, but it was sinking every year.
Sinking like New York.
Our high school was big, man. There was a mile of walkway inside, and it was heavy, and it's
Now
swampland. They
that's where
have
the gators
rules.
live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They have rules about how high you can build buildings there because it's fucking swampland and they'll sink.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess because Washington D.C. is on a swamp, we have to take all that down now.
We do. That should be all protected.
Yeah.
Thankfully, this ruling makes that shit stupid.
Well, it was stupid to begin with. They just wanted to flex their power base because a bunch of environmental whack jobs got in there instead of just doing the job of like, all right, the environment looks fine, it's fine, go for it. Stop dumping toxic waste in the water and setting the Cuyahoga on fire. No, they were like, oh, yo, you can't exhale over here. Loons.
In particular, this is from an environmental jackass. In particular, the court's new and overly narrow test. Overly narrow. I'm sorry. We're talking about government regulation. Overly narrow is not something I even recognize as existing when it comes to government regulation.
Government doesn't have anything close to that phraseology in their lexicon. It just doesn't happen.
But it should be. When you're telling me that the government is doing something, narrow is a word I want to hear.
Yeah, but it's always the word broad.
Yeah. Broad, vague. We can't even explain it ourselves. But anyway, overly narrow test may leave long regulated and long accepted to be regulable wetlands suddenly beyond the scope of the agency's regulatory authority with negative consequences for the waters of the United States.
No, because they specifically mentioned. Oh my god, I hate these people so much. So fucking stupid.
For example, the Mississippi River features an extensive levee system to prevent flooding. Under the court's continuous surface connection test, the presence of those levees, the equivalent of a dike, would seemingly preclude clean water coverage from adjacent wetlands on the other side of the levees, even though the adjacent wetlands are often an important part of the flood control project.
That makes no sense.
No.
Fuck this idiot. This person's stupid.
I think it would be very easy to argue that levee is keeping that from being continuous. If it wasn't there, it would be continuous. Look, the wetland goes right up to the levee. Yeah. That's not the same as, okay, there's the levee. Here's some water on the other side of it. Here's some dry land, and here's some more wetland.
Well, and a levee's not a dam. The water still flows. It's just a levee. They're thinking of a dam that would stop the water completely.
He even says the equivalent of a dike. Really?
That is not what the... Oh! Words have to have meaning.
Nah, not to these people.
That's because dumb.
Look, this is why liberals get away with their bullshit, is because words don't have... Words can mean whatever they need them to at any time.
Yeah, well, that's how everything... You can't have Tower of Babel, okay? You have to have consistent meaning for words where everything falls apart.
You and I are 100% on that together, and it is a big problem right now. But again, control the language. You control everything, guys. The decision could affect far more than just this one set of clean water rules, although its full potential is still a matter of debate. Some environmentalists and legal experts, man, they love those two groups.
Yeah, and that's so vague. Some say could have, maybe, hypothetically, possibly, by these biased sources.
Thank you, Frank Hubbard. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Them good old boys are drinking. Anyway, so these people are just mad because, well, they're liberals and they're always fucking mad.
Yeah.
This ruling is a good ruling. The nonsense with wetlands, we've talked about it on the show many times. I didn't even realize this case was before the court.
I didn't either. I think I knew it and forgot because I'm pretty sure we talked about their calendar at one point.
I don't know if I don't remember this. Maybe we did, but we've talked about it in many different situations that had nothing to do with this case.
Yeah.
Where they step in like, no, we get to tell you no because we decided we can. And that's literally what it is. And they said that a moment ago. We're like, their interpretation of their charter. You're not the ones who should be doing that.
It's like the ATF.
You shouldn't be interpreting. You should be reading, motherfucker.
You'd think so. If you don't know, maybe you should go to Congress and ask them for the authority to do something.
Yeah, we have had this problem on so many different agencies. Thank you, Ministry of Wrong Think. So bye, Mr. EPA guy. I like that. Well done.
Real quick. Thank you, RJ Bansma 68. Hey, Jack, back from Memphis. Enjoyed it there. Oh, nice. I hate Memphis. Traffic sucks, and everybody's eyeballing you like they're going to steal something from you. A lot of crime. Here's a joke. Yesterday, my wife completed a 36-week bodybuilding program. It's a baby girl, 8 pounds, 2 ounces. I'm a dad. Nice. Yeah, nice. Literally bodybuilding. I get it. Good one.
Okay, Angry. I'll get that in 1 second. Cryptic, thank you. I like the case today, 9-0 to tell states to fuck off with home equity theft bullshit. That's the next thing up. Hold that thought, Cryptic. Thank you for the donation. Angry Illinoisan, 3 birthdays, Jack.
Whoa.
Ray Hope, Anna, and John. His wife had twins on her own birthday.
Oh, wow.
So
that's a terrible plan. You're going to get less presents.
Yeah, no doubt. The kids are going to take over. Oh, yeah. My.
Then you're the left. You get gas station gift cards.
All right. So Ray Hope, Anna, and John. You got the names?
Sure. Let's roll.
All right. Here we go. Ray Hope, Anna, and John. This is for you. Anna 1, Anna 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ray Hope, Anna, and John. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, guys. I hope you have a great one. I really, really do. Birthdays, best thing ever. Yeah. I like birthdays more than Christmas. You know why? Because it's singular.
Unless your birthday is on Christmas.
Yeah, but that's not my problem. That's people who are born on Christmas's problem.
Yeah.
Actually, people who are just born in December kind of get screwed.
They kind of do. Yeah, anytime your birthday falls on a holiday, you always get shafted.
Yeah. All right. Since it was just brought up, Jack, let's go ahead and segue into the other Supreme Court ruling. This one is another thing we've talked about. The Supreme Court rules in favor of a 94-year-old who got nothing when her condo was taken by her county. Now, Jack.
Oh, this story is enraging.
Yeah, I was going to say I might rant quite a bit on this one, but let me go ahead and get the particulars out of the way, and then we'll rush in. All right, I'm going to read the first 4 paragraphs before I say anything. I'm going to try. A unanimous Supreme Court on Thursday gave a 94-year-old Minneapolis woman a new chance to recoup some money after the county kept the entire $40,000 when it sold her condominium over a small unpaid tax bill. The justices ruled that Hennepin County, Minnesota, violated the constitutional rights of the woman, Geraldine Tyler, by taking her property without paying just compensation. The county had the power to sell Tyler's home to recover the unpaid property taxes, but it could not use the toehold of tax debt to confiscate more property than was due, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote for the court. Here's the enraging part, guys. Tyler now lives in an apartment building for old people. She owed $2,300 in unpaid taxes, plus interest and penalties totaling $15,000 when the county took the title to her one-bedroom apartment in 2015. County said she did nothing to hold on to her one-time residence. The apartment sold the next year for $40,000, you guys. $40,000. And don't get me started on the taxes. We'll do that in a second. But if we take their full bill, it's $17,300. And they were like, we're keeping the rest. They took the rest.
Yeah, they just refused to give it to her.
Over $20,000 was owed to this woman. And they're like, nah, that's ours now. She lost her home over $2,300.
Yep.
This was her house. She had bought it. She paid for it. But she hadn't paid the property tax. You know, when you guys, lots of you say taxes stealing, taxes theft. I don't agree with that when you're talking about things like income tax. I think they take too much and that needs addressed, but it's not because it's theft. It's because our government is spending way too much money and they shouldn't be taking all our money to pay for it. Property tax? Paying a tax on shit you own for the rest of your fucking life? That's theft.
Yep.
This is mine.
I already paid for
I
it.
bought my house. Yeah. This is, and you know, the whole, I see people all the time, you know, one of the founding principles of the United States is property ownership. Okay. Yep. Then why the fuck can you take my property over a fucking tax? That's nonsense.
Property tax and estate taxes are theft.
They absolutely are. Oh, estate tax is 100% theft. That shit has already had taxes paid on it over and over again.
Yep.
And they're like, no, you died, so now you owe the government money. Fuck you. This woman is 94 years old. This happened back in, what was it? We just read it, 2015?
Yeah, it was a while back.
She was in her mid to late 80s when this shit happened to her. They kicked an 80-year-old woman out of her house over $2,300. And then that $2,300 turns into $15,000 more.
Yeah, because they can slap penalties on you at their leisure as much as they want. Because they can say, fuck you.
Yeah, this is nonsense, man. And the court got it right. Except for the court should have said property tax itself is bullshit.
Yeah.
But at least they got this part of it right. If you're going to take their home over property taxes and they only owe $17,000 and you sell it for $40,000, you owe them the other $22,700. That's their money.
The county she was suing straight up told her no.
Yeah.
They're like, no.
This is the kind of government overreach. You know, when we say, you know, politics is local and pay attention to your local politics. Don't just go for the national stuff. This is your personal stuff. This is your county board, your state, especially. This is where a lot of this stuff comes from. Your county tax is your property tax. Pay attention to all of this shit. Any of these fuckers are like, yeah, we're going to take your home. Tell them to get fucked.
Yeah, you're way more likely to get screwed over by your locals, your county, your city, than anybody in the feds. Because just statistically, they're right there and they've got a better understanding of what you're up to.
Yeah, Rodline exactly gives a middle finger, says property tax, damn, it's expensive. $6,500 I'd rather keep. Yeah. This is on stuff that's yours.
Yeah, and she's some little old lady, probably lived in on fixed income. Taxes probably went up that year, and she could afford it.
She did nothing to try to save her home.
With what? She had no resources. She's 80-something.
You took her home.
Who can come up with 17 grand? If you couldn't pay the $2,600 and you expect her to come up with $17,000, the payments on that are going to be like $900 a month. If they even agree to do a payment schedule.
Black Hebrew Israelite, thank you so much. If they can redo the 9-0 Kilo versus Connecticut decision, Kilo was a 5-4. I used to think it was a 9-0, and I don't remember why I thought it was, but yeah, Kilo is 5-4. Kilo is a fucking horrible decision. It was one of these kind of nonsense. That was the one where they took somebody's property because they said It wasn't for like a highway and stuff, which is what you would normally take property for.
Mhm.
Eminent domain, you take that for the public good. We need to build a highway here. We need a military base here, whatever it is. In this case, it was to build a fucking shopping center. And they said that the public good that came from it was more tax revenue.
Yeah.
And
That's the type of shit that should never fly. Should
and the,
never be allowed to fly. That's how you get tarred and feathered.
the court allowed that to happen. It is
Yeah,
one of the most fucked up decisions the court has ever made.
yeah.
Like, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, to a bunch of authoritarian shitbags. Yeah, if you're fucking Stalin. Real quick, thank you, Keldrick. Say what you want about death and taxes, but at least death only comes once. Yeah, taxman shows up every chance he can.
Even after death, he comes for that extra money.
Yeah.
And you hear these people.
He just wants to go root through your drawers of jewels.
Yeah, you hear these people who defend the estate tax. Like, well, the people who get it didn't do anything to earn it. Taxes have already been paid on it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the recipient's done. Fuck
Yeah,
you, you thieves.
When the person who got that money, the dead man, got that money, they paid for it. They gave the government their share. And then you die and the government's like, nah, we gonna need you to pony up a little bit more of that. So yeah, they can go fuck themselves. I hate our government right now. I really do.
It's just getting worse and worse. Thankfully, at least the Supreme Court seems to be trying to do the right thing.
KS1, thank you. You will own nothing. You already own nothing. The government owns it, and the people of my generation are more than okay with that, for fuck's sake. You're not wrong. I mean, they seem to be fine with it. Yeah, anyway. To be fair, many in government, many think things like tax credit is them giving you money. Oh, yeah. They think that when you get a tax cut, they're giving you money. And you hear so many people say this.
Yeah,
the government
you get to keep some more of your money.
Which is what it really is. You get to keep your money. You have an entire, almost half of the country, about 40% of the country, who view taxes as something that the government is deserving of. Not that they're taking from you, that they deserve. So that when there is a tax cut, oh, they gave you money. No, motherfucker. That was my money to begin with. They just let me keep it.
Yeah.
Frank Hubbard, thank you. Don't curb the gift tax. Also bullshit. The gift tax, I agree with you on that. It's usually a much smaller thing. When we talk about the estate tax, because the estate tax only kicks in at what, $200,000?
Supposedly.
I want to say that's what it is.
Which these days is not that much money.
It's really not. I mean, inflation has made $200K not much at all.
Yeah. The cheapest house, my buddy was getting married in Columbus, and one of the cheapest houses they looked at was $500,000. That right there puts them in where they're going to have to pay estate taxes, just on the house.
They never want their own taxes raised, though. Yeah. Again, all politics is local. It's like one of the most famous examples of this was the Kennedys. The Kennedys, especially after John and Bobby died, the ones who are in politics all start going on this environmental bullshit. However, when people were like, off the coast here of Martha's Vineyard, there's a lot of wind. You know what we should do? We should put up windmills here. And they were all like, because that would get in our view. That would obstruct our view of the ocean. So no, we can't do. We want environmentally safe, energy, but not if we have to look at that.
Yeah, that's for the peasants.
Poor people. Yeah, put that where poor people are. Thank you. This is Kyle. Hello, chat people, Monkey and Jack. My dad had to. Oh, that's a feminist double $12. Thank you so much, my friend. Hello, chat people, Monkey and Jack. My dad had to go into surgery for his heart attack and is thankfully at home recovering now. Also, the estate tax is some commie nonsense. Have to, Jack. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, Kyle. And I hope your dad's doing fine. I'm glad to hear he's recovering, but man, that's scary shit.
Look,
surgery for a heart attack. Ooh.
I don't know how old your dad is, but we men have a really bad problem of not listening to what the doctors say when we're recovering. Tell him to lay the fuck down and relax. I hope he is, but tell him to lay the fuck down and relax.
Yeah, and to listen to this show to help him relax. We'll lull him into sleep.
We'll do our best not to get him too upset. But
yeah, well, just like put us slightly out of tune so he can't actually understand us.
Yeah.
So we're like white noise. I got a couple stacking up here.
Hang on real quick. Please give him our best. Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again for the very generous donation. Speaking of donations, thank you, RJ. Here's a joke co-created by my best friend Scott. Is there such a thing as a hobo ninja? There can be if the ninja can ever afford to become one. Right? Yes, you should buy my books. They are available at the link going in your chat now. Buy my books. They're delight. Okay, and next up, thank you, Cryptic. I curl up in the corner every year. I pay my property tax. And it's about to go up 40% in Colorado. Holy shit! My tax is going to be $5,000 a year. Oh. Wow, might be time to move, dude. I know the view is pretty, but
don't come to Michigan. Ours already past that shit.
Yeah. In New York. Oh, dear God. It's like 50% in New York. And thank you, Retro V Gamer, for the very generous donation. A house was taken by the government here in Fairbanks for not paying taxes. The problem, nobody checked the house. The owner had been dead for months when they put up a sign for an open house.
Nice. Good. Wow. I'm glad that happened. I hope it scared people away.
Can you imagine being that real estate broker? You're already in a small community. Fairbanks is not a huge city. Yeah. But you go there and you're like, all right, I'm going to sell this house. I don't know anything about it. I guess it's not cleaned out. I should put the sign up for an open house. And then, oh my God, there's a dead body. That's going to scar you.
The Chaos One, thank you so much. Want a great example of government overreach and the problem with the little guy doesn't get a say? LA made a law that all water that flows to LA belongs to LA. Why people in California can't use rain traps? Or so I've heard. Argument was millions needed it more. There's a lot of places where you can't collect rain.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Most places can't. Do you know why you're not allowed to collect rain?
The reasoning I've heard is because the water goes into the water table.
No, the reason you're not allowed to put barrels out and collect rain is because it actually brings mosquitoes in. And mosquitoes spread yellow fever. That's why you're not supposed to have standing water in most places. They started that in Memphis with like the open air cisterns because when they figured out it was mosquitoes transmitting yellow fever. It's a great book called Pax Americana that covers that. I think that's the one.
Like that LA decision that had nothing to do with mosquitoes. I hear you.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of places that do it and there's ways you could collect the water without mosquitoes. You could have a net or something over the water barrel.
Yeah.
There's lots of ways you could do it.
It doesn't matter to the government, though. They have their idea. They have their rule. And just because you've come up with a way to bypass the problem, irrelevant. Mm-hmm. They say, no, we have a system.
You know why?
You have to go by the system.
Because the government rarely gives back power.
Yeah, they never do. They just claw more of it away from you. And they get mission creep, so they slowly claw their way into other areas, like pistol braces.
No, come on now.
I have an article on that. That's for sure.
They would never do that kind of shit. All right. I don't think I have much else. You know me in the Supreme Court. I still haven't got to read all of those decisions. I'm really interested in the first one we talked about. Apparently Thomas in his concurrence, that's the word. In his concurrence said something about the Unfair Labor Act and the minimum wage being illegal. He's right.
Mm-hmm.
A federal minimum wage, sorry guys, I don't care what you feel about it. There's no justification for it. There's no legal justification for our government having that control.
Well, if you look into it, they're not legally allowed to have the Federal Reserve or the progressive income tax because they're both well legal, but nobody does anything about them. There's lots of things our government gets away with every day that we're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve. I mean, the Federal Reserve can exist. It's just not supposed to have anything to do with our money. Our money is all supposed to be controlled by Congress.
Yeah. So people too often fall into the belief that the Federal Reserve is a government program, and it's not.
It's a private company.
Yeah. And it just calls itself the Federal Reserve. And hi, Mash, how you doing?
That we gave all of our gold to.
Yeah, and I'd be willing to bet that that gold is no longer available.
Hi, Mash. How you doing, sweetie? Cryptic, thank you so much. Jack is right. It is pretty here, but family is why I'm still here. Still here. I'd live in Alaska or Montana in a heartbeat. Why? This state is Mountain California. Yeah, Colorado is just mountainy California.
It is. I got a buddy who lives over in Boulder.
Although, in fairness, there's a shit ton of mountains in California as well.
Mountains ruin stuff. Look what happened to California.
Why do you want to live where it's so cold, man? I don't understand people who go and live in Alaska. I'll be honest with you.
I'll tell you right now, a good reason to live in Alaska. Antifa's not going to go out and do anything because it's too fucking cold. Those jobless hippies aren't going to go outside in that shit.
But neither am I, and I don't go outside all that often. But when I do, I don't want my nose to freeze.
That's quitter talk.
Anyway, I hate the cold, Jack. I'm not a fan. I like it nice and warm. It's supposed to get up to like 85 around here soon, and people are already freaking out. 85, like shut up, pussy. That's nice.
No, it's not. It's fucking awful. My balls are gonna have sweat on their balls. Yeah. So we've been having. I don't know if you're getting it there, but our weather has been jumping around a lot for the past few days. So yesterday, when I went to Target to film my little video, I don't know if you saw it. I did a short where I went to Target and explored the Pride section.
I did not.
I was breathing heavy, and you could hear it on the thing because I couldn't breathe out of my nose at all.
Oh,
like, I was mouth breathing because otherwise I was gonna die. But the weather shifted so much that it created congestion.
This is a short on your channel?
On the Mr. Jack channel. Yeah.
Mr. Jack?
Yeah. It's the only short.
The only short?
Yeah.
This is not the right channel. Hang on, guys. I'm busy. Y'all talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'm going to throw this into chat for everybody. Everybody go watch this.
It's not a perfect video, man.
It doesn't matter. There. Everybody go check that out. Give it some views, y'all. Give it some views. How many views this got on it? Nice.
400 or something. I haven't looked at today.
That's awesome, man. Okay. I'll watch that again later. I was going to show it, but I'm like, nah, let's get views over to that channel. So, guys, check that shit out. I was looking for other things, wasn't I? I don't know if there's anything else I really cared about. Oh, yeah, there is. Robert Kennedy Jr. I don't give a shit about Robert Kennedy's thing. He's polling at about 20% right now.
Yeah, he's doing surprisingly well. And I can see why. Because Biden's a fucking crazy old man.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, they're not going to give him any kind of real coverage in the media.
Yeah.
They're certainly not going to have the debates, which they should have. Incumbents, you shouldn't get a free pass to the next election. And look, frankly, Biden would win again anyway, just because too many people will be like, oh, he's the president. Fine. But there should at least be the illusion of choice.
Yeah, you would think so. But Biden already said he's not going to debate anybody that tries to primary him.
Yeah.
So that actually, I think, works out well for Kennedy, since most people find his voice weird.
And yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he's at 20% among Democrats should be worrying for the president.
Yeah. Well, his approval ratings I saw on like CNN or somewhere, we're talking about like 30%. It's crazy.
Yeah, somebody, let's watch a video real fast about all this. It's a longer video. Where'd that video go? It's this one. I like when I can find a video quickly, but
What's that like?
the only reason I can find it quickly is because I have not been active on Twitter. But this was sent to me, and this is them talking about the numbers that just came in, and here we go.
4 lead. Horrible news. Horrible for Joe Biden in our new CNN poll. While the president leads his Democratic competitors by a huge margin, 2/3 of all of the American people surveyed, 66% of the public, say that a Biden victory would either be a setback or a disaster for the United States.
That's not good.
That is really not good.
Yeah, a setback or a disaster. What do you say? 66%?
Yeah.
This is the president of the United States who gets pretty much nothing but good coverage.
Yeah. Yeah. But people see him talking and they're like, this guy's fucking gonna get us bombed.
Well, look at everything that's happened under him. The Afghanistan withdrawal, the the negative economy that's not a recession this time, the inflation, the transportation issues we've had, just disaster after disaster after disaster with this guy. No matter how much they try to clean that up in the press and try to turn it into a good story, we can still see. Y'all know that, right?
Look at how pissed off he is that he has to actually admit to this. And like Dangerous said, it's probably a lot worse if this is what they're reporting. Real quick, thank you, Cryptic. Where's the video where a giant man trying on the tuck clothes? Well, I was pretty close to getting thrown out as it was, so I wasn't pushing my luck.
All right, back to our. Now they're going to get into the numbers, Jack.
Let's get straight to CNN political director David Shelling at the Magic Wall. David, let's start with the state.
This dude has no neck. His head starts halfway down his chest.
Yeah.
He looks like a turtle.
I think the suit is slowly eating him.
This is Raphael in his elder years.
No, Raphael won't work at CNN.
Okay, this is the retarded brother they never talked about.
Yeah, this is the fifth brother. Like,
This is Donatello. All right,
Gary.
God damn it.
Of the Democratic primary right now.
Yeah, you noted Joe Biden's lead in this Democratic primary. He's at 60%.
All right, this is the polling for just the Democrats. Just the Democrats. Biden is at 60. That's horrible for a sitting president. 60. Kennedy has 20. Marianne Williamson, that fucking crazy bitch who laid hands on black people to heal white folk of their racism, is polling at 8. How bad are you that Williamson is at 8?
Dangerous pointed out they resurrected Chris Farley.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I live in a van by the river.
Maybe that's probably where they found this fucker.
On Democrats and Democratic-leaning independents in this poll, Jake, Robert Kennedy Jr. is getting 20% support inside this primary right now against an incumbent president, Marianne Williamson. You may remember from last time around, she's running again this cycle at 8%, naming someone else.
Thank you, Snubberth. You joke, but one of the new TMNT cartoons has made Donatello autistic for representation. God damn it. Don would be the one you'd go with. You can't do it to Raphael because he's actually Raphael would have made more sense. Isn't he the genius?
No, Donatello's the genius.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the smart one. Purple and the bow staff. Raphael has the size. He's the angry one.
I thought Ralph was the smart one. Yeah, I know he's the angry one.
Yeah,
but
no, Mikey's the kind of retarded one, the stoner dude. So Are they going to put one in a helmet and one of them's trans now too? God.
Well, there's still the argument over whether or not April's black.
I don't know why that's an argument. She's clearly white through the entire
man,
original comic series.
She has curly hair that makes her black.
She had a fucking perm. It was a style of the time.
Nah, bruh.
Cher had that exact same hairdo. That is such bullshit. And the guys even addressed it many times.
Well, the one of them has come out, and because she was sort of based on one of his girlfriends who was, I think, half black. And so some people point to that, but yeah, it has been addressed directly where they've said no. But you know how when black women grow their hair out, it has a loose curl to it, like April's.
Yeah, like a tight knit. Oh my god, so enraging! I fucking hate that argument. It's so stupid. Did you ever see the books? I mean, look at the third printing of issue 2. It very clearly shows April as a redhead who is white. Anyway,
several people have pointed out the redhead, including Cryptic, who thank you so much for the donation. Redheads are all being replaced by blacks. Yeah, I mean we've seen it over and over again. It's almost undeniable at this point.
Yeah, I don't know why black people hate redheads so much.
I don't know why woke people hate redheads so much.
They hate minorities, like extreme minorities, because I mean, statistically, redheads are a minority within the white community. And in Poland, they were thought to be shape-shifting witches.
Redheads are more of a minority than black people are.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
By far.
Oh, yeah, just by the sheer numbers. Thank you, Frank. Biden is sitting at 1/3 approval rating when all polls lean Democrat significantly. Yep. Sad.
Thank you, Chaos One. It says, don't forget the female fifth turtle was the bestest and used all the fighting styles. What was her name again?
Venus.
What was it?
Or the Venus was on the TV show.
Yeah.
And then there was one in the comics, Jenica, who is the bestest ever.
Jenica. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the IDW one. Nobody counts that because the person that created that character, that was a self-insert.
Of course. I wouldn't mind the self-insert so much if they didn't become all-powerful.
Yeah. If they were flawed and struggled. No, they're always perfect. Which, by the way, they're... Oh, sorry.
So it's okay to have self-inserts. A lot of things are self-inserts. But in order to make an interesting character, your self-insert still needs to be flawed and have a struggle that they're... an arc.
Yeah, no. That struggle? What?
Not just a straight line to... People? I'm the bestest ever. I'm Jesus, basically. Anyhow, let's get back to Fat Boy.
Oh, fair enough.
You can see inside the numbers where Biden's strength is and where a potential warning sign is.
Now, this is very important. I know that some conservatives are like, we don't need independence. You absolutely need independence to win federal elections. When it comes to your actually statewide elections as well, Jack. Statewide and federal elections, whether it's governor, senator, or president, independents matter. People who do not actually belong to Republican or Democrat, who make up their mind, even if they tend to go one way or the other most of the time, these are the people you need to get elected. And these are the approval ratings, Jack.
If you look just at those who identify as Democrats, that's a Biden strength. He's winning 67% of them. It's among those that are in.
Stop real quick. Among your own party, you are the president and you have a 33% disapproval rating with those people. You only have a 67% 67 who are saying, I'm going to vote for him. That's not as strength as you wanted to believe. 80% would be more normal.
Yeah, that's kind of terrible.
Anyway, sorry.
Independents and they lean Democratic, so they're in this sample, but there it's a much closer race. 40% of them for Biden, 32% for Kennedy. So Kennedy's support comes from not tried and true Democrats, but more leaners, Jake.
The people who sway elections. The people who sway elections, less than 50%, Jack.
The leaners.
That should be disturbing.
should make Biden nervous, but he'll forget about it by dinner time. So,
And I also wasn't it 60% overall that they said for Biden? That tells you how many Democrats versus how many independents they actually polled here.
yeah,
Because that should have dropped this down into the 50s if this was a equal representation.
God, these polls are never equal representation.
No, they always skew Democrat because for some reason they're convinced that most of the country is Democrat.
Well, they want to present it that way so that people are like, oh, well, if my friends are voting that way.
Yep.
It's a lazy trick.
All right. Trump never got under 90% of Republican support. Yeah, and most presidents, like I said, 80 seems to be about low for your party when you're president, unless you're Jimmy Carter.
Well, Jimmy Carter was a shit candidate, and Biden's looking like he's going to end up being worse. Yay. Hey, real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. The best self-insert character are the comic relief ones where they fail all the time comically. It just proves they can laugh at themselves. Yeah, but you don't dare do that nowadays because you'll hurt somebody's feelings.
And then take a look here. We asked, might your mind change? A slim majority, 55%, say they might change their mind. 45% say they're definitely going to support who they're with. I'll just.
Thank you. Cryptic says, when you're worse than Carter. Yeah. And
right.
Yes, thank you so much. As Red Rising put it, the noble lie of democracy. Yeah. Look, man, I'm not going to rant. I'm not going to rant. I'm going to let Fat Boy speak. I'm going to let him talk. How long is it? This is almost a 4-minute video. We're almost done with the part I care about.
Note, Biden supporters are locked in. About 6 in 10 of them say they are committed to him and not going to change their mind. So it's
that's still only 60%. 60% of Biden supporters are like, I'm only voting for him. That's not a good number. That's horrible. Thank you, Cigar Chomping Penguin. Woke people hate rednecks because they're all dyslexic. YouTube refused to let me send this. Took me 5 tries. God bless.
Damn.
They won't let you type dyslexic? Oh, no. You know what? It was redneck. Redneck will get you in trouble on YouTube. Not us. We can say it, but it will be, it's often censored in the chat.
Yeah, that's weird since they allow so many other anti-white statements to go through.
And before y'all start talking or saying redneck, which you can, I don't give a shit. It's usually only in super chats where that stuff is limited.
Yeah, it's weird how they censor super chats more than regular chat. But then again, if you say something offensive in chat, we can get in trouble for it. So,
well, the reason they do it is they know most people read out the super chats, so then it's going to end up on the stream. It's kind of a backwards way of trying to, get us. Redhead, not redneck. I swear that said redneck. Oh, that does say redheads. Whoops. Woke people hate redheads because they're all dyslexic. Are redheads all dyslexic?
I don't know. Maybe.
Look, I was going with rednecks being dyslexic.
I was prepared to accept your premise.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I don't know where I made it. So yeah, then I'm not surprised. I'm not sure why that got. It had to be dyslexic. Are they censoring dyslexic in chat? That's a real thing, YouTube.
Maybe they're censoring redheads.
Oh, really? You got to change it to black.
Yeah. Oh, real quick. Thank you, Jimmy Carter. Woohoo! I can die knowing I ain't the worst. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Not quite, Jimmy. Not Jimmy. Look, I know Biden is bad, but stop butchering people's chats. No. Hell no.
We couldn't make that promise no matter what you say.
I forgot what I was going to say.
You're going to make fun of Jimmy Carter?
Jimmy Carter. Look, many of us are too young to have actually lived through the Carter years. I was alive for them. I was born in 75, Jack. He's elected in 76. So I was alive. But I was 5 when he gets out of office. So I don't remember any of it. I didn't have to live through it. But it was bad. It was real bad. Biden sucks. and he's close, but Carter still has a pretty good lead on him.
I think he's creeping up though, because that withdrawal from Afghanistan, that was pretty rough. There's probably a dozen things we could come up with that would put Biden really close to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. I still think Carter has the lead. The 70s were, plus you have to remember also, people lived differently back then.
Yeah, that's true.
Poor people today, even poor people today have nice phones, right? You can at least entertain yourself. Back then, you have, your 3 channels, and half of them are in black and white sometimes. It was a different way of living, and you had to do that under Carter shit. Massive inflation, unemployment starting to go out of control. Yeah, it was the homeless have better phones than I do.
I know that feeling.
You're not wrong.
Legal immigrants have better phones than I do.
Yep. So, I mean, Carter's, in my opinion, still a clear lead. Biden sucks. I put him as number 2 for worst of all time, as of right now. And we've had some stinkers in there, Jack.
Yeah. Hey, do you think Biden's going to let the Republicans tank the debt ceiling thing, or what? What do you think is going to happen there? Do you think he's going to cave in?
I think. Let me get this. Thank you, Frank Hubbard. Biden still has 2 more years to match. That's a fair point. Fair point. And thank you for the donation. I'm kind of torn here, Jack. This is one where my prognostication I'm a little iffy on, because here's the thing. I don't believe the Republicans actually will hold out. I think Biden is perfectly willing to let the Republicans take the blame for crashing the debt ceiling and crashing everything.
Yeah.
It gives him an out for why the economy sucks and shit.
No, they were going to blame the Republicans either way. So
sure. I think the Republicans will capitulate, because they usually do.
Yep. I'm actually surprised they've held out this long.
Yeah, me too. But as I said, I would Biden let them? Yeah, fuck yeah. He's not going to actually come to the table with any real meaningful, hey, let's trade some stuff here. We'll raise the debt ceiling, but we're going to cut a shit ton of money. No fucking way. No fucking way.
No. I think if the Republicans do hold out and the debt ceiling doesn't get raised, they're going to stop payments on Social Security right away.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And they're going to blame the Republicans for it.
Jeff, thank you so much. Having been born in 1970, I remember well the Carter years, double-digit inflation, the Iran fiasco, etc. It was amazing how much better things got during the 80s. And, it is telling how bad the Carter administration was when you get into the Reagan years and you realize that the unemployment, that was actually during the Reagan years. Yeah. Reagan years get up to what, 10% unemployment at one time?
Yeah, that
something
was,
like that.
What, 80, 81, somewhere in there?
Yeah. And in fairness, a large part of that was women entering the workforce. And that there was a big spike there. But you have this massive unemployment during the 80s, and people are like, oh, things are so much better now, because that's how much the Carter years sucked. Because Reagan did what Trump did. He came in and without saying, let's make America great again, that's what he was saying. He came in with pride in the country. He came in with Go America. And there were a lot of people who were down on it. I still think one of Trump's greatest strengths was the Make America Great Again. And all of these fucking people who make fun of it and use it as some kind of derogatory thing, the idea of making America great is offensive to them.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. If you want to pick on him about anything else, by all means go to, but are you saying America's not great? Not as great as it used to be?
Well, people that shit on that phrasing hate America more often than not. So,
but then Biden basically steals it. They all have done this. All of them come in and like, I'm gonna fix everything. Well, if it's already good, why do you need to fix it? That's the whole thing about them getting so pissed off about Make America Great Again. Weren't you going to change things? Did you think it was really good how it was? People are constantly talking about all the ways we used to be better, right?
Yeah.
But the Make America Great thing, oh, that's a fet. Go fuck yourselves. Russell, thank you. Olivia Newton-John was so sexy back then. That's one good thing from the Carter years. I always found her a little thin. She's cute.
She was okay looking, but she looked like she would nag you.
I
always thought she's going to lecture me.
Hosford, thank you so much. Yay, you were live when I'm awake. Going back to the start, coming through with that double feminist $12. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
Yeah. Hang on. Thank you, Dixie Rose 63, for the very generous donation. There were 4 channels in 1976. PBS was there too.
Yeah, nobody watched PBS except for their kids to babysit them with Big Bird. Stop it.
Yeah. I have mostly watched it to watch Doctor Who and Red Dwarf.
I watched Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. That's all I watched on PBS.
Yeah, well, we saw the kids shows when I was little, but
sometimes the Electric Company.
Yeah, just for Spider-Man.
Yeah, I didn't care about the rest of the show. I just wanted to see Spider-Man.
We had the picture pages B pen. My mom
I got to use back off the screen. The what is it? Picture pages?
The picture pages with Bill Cosby.
That sounds familiar, but I can't place it exactly.
He draws stuff, and he had this pen with a B on it. You could send away for one, and we had that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't have that yet. Devil's Advocate just said in chat, picture pages with Cosby. I don't remember it.
Oh, yeah. Picture pages with words and with pencils.
Magister, it's your birthday. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, the Magister. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Hope you had a good one. Really, really do.
Absolutely.
Or have a good one if it's coming up.
Was the pen drugged? Maybe. Yeah, Morgan Freeman was easy.
Tasted like roofies.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman was on there as Easy Reader.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I remember the name, but yeah, it's like I said, it's one of those things I can't exactly place.
I may have watched a lot of those shows when I was a kid because Latchkey Kids are awesome.
Now, I just want to point out that the whole reason we watched that Fat Guy is because I was going to talk about Robert Kennedy. And he has this thread. I can't watch the video. It's 11 minutes. I don't give a shit about that. But I want to highlight one of his tweets in this little thread here, Jack.
Oh.
And I want to be clear here. I do not support Robert Kennedy for president. The guy's still a big left wokey fucker. I do not support him. That doesn't mean he never says anything right. Amazing how the COVID dissidents who were eventually proven right still have an aura of disrepute, while the experts who stated falsehoods with such assurance still hold positions of authority and influence. He's got a point. How many of you guys were called conspiracy theorists? How many of you guys were called all kinds of names and you just want to kill people and you want grandma to die? How many of y'all had to deal with that shit?
Oh, I think probably most of us in this stream now.
I wasn't even against the vaccines and I got that shit, Jack.
Yep.
Because I said people should be allowed to choose for themselves.
Oh, you're a monster.
Yeah. How is it that these people who were so wrong so often still hold all the power? None of them got fired. Fauci's getting to retire and go live off all the fucking money he made off of us over the years. After being wrong all the fucking time. Was Fauci ever right about anything? Do we know? This is a man who once thought AIDS was airborne.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it is if you pull out and shoot, but it's only airborne for like half a second till it lands on somebody.
Well, look, he just sat there and collected big piles of money and made everybody worship him.
Was this bitch right on anything? I mean, his mind changed with the wind.
Look, he did go back and help that girl get out of the maze and fight the Goblin King, but that's Hoggle again. Damn it! Sorry, I keep getting him mixed up with a character from Labyrinth.
Dude, gross. Oh, dude. If you think that was gross, there's going to be times that this show really, really surprises you. Anyhow,
Volf said his name is Fauci, so he got his name right. Well, I don't know. What if that's really not even his name and he's just been faking it for 70 years?
That's entirely possible. Yeah. I think that's all I had, Jack. So we'll move on. Like I said, I haven't been very busy online recently.
I've been really busy. I got so much nonsense going on.
Somebody's got to take over for me. I'm probably 50% of Twitter's use. Just saying. Michigan State students suing professor they allege made them fund leftist group. What? Michigan State, of course. At least 2 students of Michigan State University filed suit against their former professor in federal court, alleging she forced them and fellow students to give money to her leftist political group. What'd she do? Write a book and make y'all buy it?
Worse. Oh, you got a chat over on Rumble.
I did that one.
Did you?
A while ago.
Oh. Well, shows what I pay attention to. I must have been distracted talking to chat. Sorry.
Where are we? Nathan Barbary? Fuck it.
Barbary?
And Nolan Randomski. All right, Nathan and Nolan allege university officials, including their former professor Amy Wisner, infringed their First Amendment rights when Wisner required them and approximately 600 students to purchase $99 memberships for the rebellion community. You can't do that.
You'd be surprised how often this sort of thing happens.
The acquisition of a membership was part of Wisner's class requirements for the 2023 spring semester. Wisner was discovered by Barbary and Radmisky, whatever, to be the creator and controller of the group, and they allege the instructor donated the estimated $60,000 she forced out of students to groups including Planned Parenthood, according to the lawsuit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of how I think the court would come down on this. And because the donations go to her, and then those donations, she gives the donations out how she wants to, I think the court would actually side with her.
I don't know. I think it's bullshit either way. Because when I was in school, you had to buy the professor's book. They always had one. And then they would also make you get like a magazine subscription to some lefty bullshit like Mother Earth News or Mother Jones or The Week or some shit like that. Whatever the flavor of the month was for them. This is slightly different, but it's not that much different. They're forcing you to give her $100 just to take her class so she can fund some organization. I think it's bullshit and it shouldn't be allowed.
I think if it gets disallowed, it's not going to be directly. And what I mean there is that they wouldn't say, yeah, this is a violation of your First Amendment rights because it forced you to support these things. Because this is one of those, Jack, where you didn't support it, even though that's where your money went, because it became her money when you gave it to her. If the courts were to rule against this, it would have to be more on a, you can't force people to join an organization.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to play this. Yeah, you're probably right, sadly, but just hope these guys get their $100 back.
Yeah.
This is nonsense. This type of shit really should not happen in colleges, especially for what you're paying for courses.
There are they Miss Indian there in our Senate, Elizabeth Warren. She likes to talk about how when I went to school, it only cost me $50 a semester. You know why it's so expensive now? Because of administration. That's a giant part of it, and stupid shit like this. And don't forget the college textbooks. There is no good reason college textbooks cost as much as they do.
Oh no, it was ridiculous 20 years ago when I was in school.
Yep.
It's way more ridiculous now.
Spend $1,000 on books you're not even going to read.
Yep. And you'll never need like I would always wait till the first day of class to find out if I needed the book.
This shit is extortion.
It absolutely is.
Faithless, yes, subsidized by government loans, and then they're like, we're just going to wipe the loans away so that these kids they're trying to make college free without doing it, without just have the balls to do it if you're going to do it.
They don't have the balls to do it.
I know that they don't have the support to do it.
No.
Once students had paid for the group membership, they received access to an online portal that the people allege was redundant because MSU provided them with online course material at no charge. Wisner maintains the money charged to students was used to cover costs relating to technology use, paying guest speakers, educators, and facilitators, according to the report. Your professor does not receive any financial compensation from your membership fees, as that would be a conflict of interest. A disclosure mentioned in the suit reads. Well, okay, you just blew your case, because that's going to be the only thing that saves you from this, is that it becomes your money so you can spend it how it is. And if you're saying it wasn't my money and that's how you spent it, yeah, you just compelled their speech.
Yeah. Let me tell you a little story about a internship I had to do. They didn't tell me that how to do anything. They just said you need to do an internship. So I went out and set one up at a place where I knew some people. And I come back and I say, hey, I got an internship set up. And they're like, oh, no, we wanted you to work at my facility. I was like, your facility? Yeah, I run a special needs group home, and I wanted you to work there. So you need to quit yours and come work at my facility. I said, doesn't that unjustly enrich you?
I need you to come work at my sweatshop.
Yeah, for free. No pay. I wasn't getting paid at the other place either, but I went to all the trouble. And
Right.
He's like, no, you have to do it through here. I was like, oh, really? Is that written somewhere that all internships must go through your facility? And he's like, well, it's not an official rule. I said, because that sounds illegal.
It
and
is.
Then I got dragged into the president's office and had to explain to them how I thought it was corrupt. And then I threw a lawyer's name down, and then I got to go do my internship how I wanted.
Yeah, that is a direct conflict of interest to say you have to go work for me for free.
Oh, man, my lawyer was so excited. He's like, I know 5 people that will jump on this in a second. We are going to get so much money for you. And I was like, yes. And then they backed out, and I was like, what do you mean I got to do my internship now?
Damn it.
I was going to sue you.
Colleges are junk. I'm sorry. I think there's value to what college should be. I think there's value in learning. I still maintain not everybody needs to go to college. What we really need is for employers to stop saying, hey, I need a college degree before you can come here and drive our fork truck. Real thing I read.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous because not everybody needs to go to college. Trade school is way more useful for the majority of people.
College is not something, one, that kids should be doing right out of high school anyway. I don't believe that should be happening. Unless you're going to be doing something like, okay, I know I want to be a doctor. You should go out there and get into the real world. The problem is everybody's like, no, I need 2, 4, 8 years of college before I'll even look at you, which is fucking retarded. Because for the most part, you learn most of what you do on a job on the job. Period. It's true. It doesn't matter if you go to school and you learn the newest programming language, and then you go find a job and they're still using C+. And you didn't learn it. Whoopsie. So there can be value there, but because they've just turned it into high school plus, it's garbage. And it's not just high school plus, it's high school plus extortion.
Yeah. Well, so much of what they teach you is irrelevant. It's not just that it doesn't apply to your field, it's that it's not relevant in everyday life. Anywhere. When's the last time you ever needed a gender studies class?
Right.
Or an ethnic studies class, unless you're moving to that country.
And there should be a law, and I do mean a law, against professors requiring people to buy their books.
Yes.
Period. And look, I know that there's also ones where they're like, well, I haven't written a book yet, so this professor over here is a good friend of mine, so I'll use theirs. There should be no conflict of interest when it comes to what you're requiring them to use. Period.
Yep.
But anyhow, all right, Jack, because they're not doing it because I am the foremost expert on this. They're doing it because, oh, by the way, if you buy my book, I get a big ass cut.
Yeah, they get a big paycheck. That's what it's really about. And I understand that. I like money, but why don't you sell your book in a different way? Like say, hey, I also wrote a book. If you like my class, be sure to pick up my book.
Speaking of books, Jack has several books for sale. They are linked below. Make sure you check them out. We're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, the share button if you can. Donate to Jack or myself if you're so inclined. Always appreciated, never expected.
Exactly. And we appreciate all your support.
Far left. Ooh, far left. Who wrote this? That's not a Post Millennial. And say that's not a Washington Post. They never use far left. There's a far right. There's an extreme right. There's an ultra right. There's all kinds of different adjectives for right, but never for the left.
No. Why would
far left agitator arrested for allegedly throwing brick at San Francisco mayor during speech against open air drug markets? Wait,
did you hear about this?
No, the San Francisco mayor was against it.
Yeah, they're starting to backpedal a little bit because of all the people leaving. Nordstrom's leaving, and Old Navy's closing one of their big stores in San Francisco now too. So it's starting to really crush the city. So she's out giving a speech out in by this open air drug market. This fucking idiot throws a brick.
Mayor of San Francisco attempted to give a press conference on Tuesday at a plaza in the city, which is notorious for open air drug dealing, but was met with extreme hostility from far left protesters, which resulted in law enforcement making an arrest and shutting down the event due to violence. You know, the other day I said on Twitter that anytime there's a group of lefties, there's going to be violence.
Yeah.
And somebody said to me, "Oh, you mean black people?" I'm like, no, I mean the left.
Yeah, Antifa's majority white.
The group in question, I mean, there was a ton of white people there was a video, and it was the one where the was it Minnesota LDF or Wisconsin LDF? I think it was Minnesota LDF, where they were doing their convention, and the one group gets up there to start saying something, and the other group gets up there to protest them like they were Trump or something. And it just turns into fucking chaos. And you have that guy with his gavel in the middle. This is turning too scary. Yeah, like you put lefties together. Is it DFL? I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, whatever.
Retarded Democrats. But thank you for the correction if that's what it is. Anytime you get a group of Democrats together in a political setting, there's going to be violence. It goes back to the fucking 60s. People forget the 68 Democratic convention. This isn't new.
No, not at all.
If you guys don't know about the 68 Democratic convention, look it up. Lots of violence.
Mostly peaceful.
Oh, yes. Fiery but peaceful. That's one of my favorite things ever. Democratic Mayor London Breed. That actually sounds like a racist slur.
Kind of does, doesn't it?
His name is... Dude, change your name. That sounds like a slur. And the board of directors were unveiling new plans to address San Francisco's humanitarian crisis, otherwise known as the homeless crisis, when far-left protesters surrounded the mayor and as she began her speech and started to disrupt, which included bouts of screaming, shouting, and booing. Standing behind the podium at the United Nations Plaza, Mayor Breed, I can't say that name sounds so bad, proclaimed that the city has been tolerating illegal, out-of-control behavior for too long. No, stop. Nope. You guys have mobile drug clinics that help people get needles.
That's where this was at.
But my point being, this illegal behavior. You guys, you don't just tolerate it, you facilitate it.
Yep.
What the hell do you mean? Anyway,
I'm
however, the
starting
mayor's
to realize that it's totally unsustainable.
However, the mayor's comments failed to sit right with the crowd and disruption escalated. Board supervisor Aaron Peskin took over the microphone and attempted to discuss the open-air drug use that has created an unsafe environment for residents living in San Francisco. But that didn't last long before police were forced to shut down the meeting, which lasted less than 10 minutes. Oh, Democrats, you never change. Many San Franciscans do not feel safe, and then they threw a brick. Dude says many people don't feel safe, and you throw a brick.
Yep, because irony, I guess.
Brazen drug dealing and deteriorating street conditions have exacerbated a humanitarian crisis on our streets. Shortly after Peskin's remark, a far-left protester in the crowd allegedly hurled a brick, which nearly hit a child.
Yeah, well, they got little noodle arms, and it was a chick, so she threw like a girl with little noodle arms. Of course, she's going to miss the mayor and damn near kill a child.
The woman was arrested and taken away in handcuffs by police officers. The incident was captured on video. Of course it was. Okay, I'll throw the rest of this into chat because I do want to try to get through all these stories, Jack.
Yeah, whatever.
But, guys, is anybody surprised? Seriously? Is anybody surprised that this happened? Put
Nobody should be
Democrats
surprised.
together, violence is going to occur.
Yeah,
It's-
and on top of that, you're telling somebody no, and they don't like that because they're Democrats. They've never been told no. This is some 20-something girl who's like, no, we can do whatever we want. Ugh.
And, I mean, I'm assuming the person who threw the brick has a home, and this is about homelessness and drug use.
Yes.
And you're like, we're going to clean up the streets. No.
Yeah, how can you punish these saintly, houseless souls, monkey?
One of the few jobs government does have is keeping its citizens safe.
They're not very
And
good at that one.
San Francisco is objectively not doing that. So,
Well, I don't know if you saw the study that came out about how much fecal matter is on the sidewalks.
no, I thought they cleaned all that. Did they stop cleaning it?
You're funny. I don't think they ever really started. I don't think they could. They said something like 70% of the sidewalks have traces of feces on it, and 33% have drug residue, like needles and stuff. So, San Francisco
Yeah.
treat.
Faithless says, I'm surprised that they were backing off of their lax crime and junkie policies. No, London wants to be reelected.
Yeah, she's
That's
going
the
to talk a mean game and do nothing.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point where, frankly, they have to do this, or they're gonna lose bigly, as Trump would say. They're gonna lose bigly. And London likes her fat paychecks from San Francisco.
Yeah.
I can't blame her. I'm sure she's making good money out there doing nothing, letting the city go to shit.
Yeah, literal and figurative.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Walmart pulling out, that's a huge loss. Target and Walgreens, now Nordstrom and Old Navy, and God knows who else. that starts to have a visual impact on the city.
There's a lot of American cities right now that are just falling into shit. They really are.
That is.
And COVID made it a lot worse because a lot of the day-to-day activity dried up.
Yeah.
In San Francisco, we read an article about this where San Francisco is one of these where the downtown area that used to be bustling with people, which as gross as it is, kind of helped spread that fecal matter so it's a little less visible, and 1,000 people walking down the street, it's gonna dissipate a little bit because it's on everybody's shoes.
Yeah.
But they went away and the homeless moved in.
Yep.
They were like, cool, I can live on every sidewalk now.
Yeah, nobody did anything to stop them. So,
and then the city's great idea at that point was, we really need mobile illicit drug clinics. We have a homeless problem. What we really need to add to that is junkies.
well, spruce the place up. It's good for the feng shui.
So yeah, and they're having a real problem with getting people back into the city. And London, it's not just her job. I mean, everybody involved in the city council, they're all on the hook for this.
Yeah.
And when it comes time for the people who still remain to do their voting next time, all you have to say in San Francisco right now, if you want to be the next mayor, I'm going to clean up the city, literally. Win. Because that place is a fucking shithole. But LA, New York, I have not heard anything about Boston being real bad.
No, I haven't either.
But definitely parts of Chicago, Portland. For God, Portland. Portland was a nice city, Jack.
So did Seattle.
Seattle was a nice city.
Yeah.
And then they let Antifa move in.
Yep.
Anyway, with work, remote home jobs, why would people return? There's several reasons to bring people back into the office. This is one. Hang on, Jack. Let me. I got a side rant here for a second.
Okay.
It's a situation I can't really discuss, but I know of a business that has recently told people, hey, you got to come back to work. And a lot of people are very mad about that. There's several reasons that a company would want you to come back to work. One, just the team atmosphere. That is something that you can't really get over a computer. Not in the same way. Another is a lot of businesses, this business I know for a fact, they have deals with the cities that they move into that we will keep a certain number of people working here. And for that, we get a tax reduction for it.
Yep.
And the city goes along with that because it brings people into the city. They will buy from shops that are around, stop at fast food places. That boosts tax revenue overall. They make these deals, and that's just good for the city. And again, like I said, there are reasons for the company to do it too. There's a big difference of the cohesion you get over a computer that you get from somebody who's working right next to you 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, however many days that is a year.
Yeah, it brings in a little bit more loyalty to the company too.
Yep.
Because you're there all the time. You feel like it's your space. You have a sense of ownership to the company,
Yeah.
Connectedness that you don't have working remotely, where you can be like, fuck these people. I hate this job.
Yep.
Buddy of mine, he's just got done working from home, and they're calling everybody back in. But he's there for like 3 days a week where he's the only person on his entire floor.
Oh, I can imagine.
But he was saying how they rented out this parking garage across the street for like $2 million because the company merged or some shit with another one. And they were expecting all these people. Then COVID hit and the lockdowns. So they've been paying for this parking area that nobody uses. And there's like all this empty office space. He's like, they're talking about like a collapse within the retail sector for corporations.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. He's like, yeah, I'm worried I'm going to lose my job because this company could go under because people aren't coming in here and they're pissing away all this money. They're paying for like computers to be on that nobody's using. Lights are on because there's one dude on the entire floor.
This company that I was talking about, they used to hire people they didn't need because it was cheaper to hire that than lose the tax break that they got.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's about actually having bodies in those seats, not you hired this many people in those seats. So there's good reasons to bring people back to work. And I get it that people, hey, it's a lot nicer to be able to wear your pajama bottoms, but get your ass up and go to work. It won't hurt you. I promise.
You'll
Okay.
appreciate the distinction more of not working at home because your home is your sanctuary. And sometimes it's nice to have that distinction between work and where you live.
At one time I did a work from home thing, Jack, and this is the reason I talk about the loss of cohesion. I was in a team, right?
Mhm.
And every so often I'd have to go into the office and they'd be all talking about shit that I had no knowledge of. It wasn't real important to what we were doing, but I just felt like the new guy every time I went back in.
Yeah.
You just lose this cohesion. And yeah, anyway, let's get back to the articles and stuff so we can get this show on the road.
Before you do that, thank you, Alan, who says hello, Jack. Hi, Alan. Thanks, man. Hope you're doing well.
All right. Italy, trans identified male arrested after stripping in front of a school, threatening people with HIV. Did Scott Wiener go to Italy?
Probably not.
4 police officers subdued a trans-identified male this week after he exhibited a disturbed outburst in front of a public school in Milan. Trans activists are now calling the arrest transphobic. He threatened people with AIDS.
Showed his dinker to a bunch of kids.
And claiming police used undue force on an unarmed trans woman. Alan, thank you so much. He says, Monkey, what's up, my friend? How are you tonight? The incident occurred Wednesday morning just as children entered the Istituto Comprehenso Casa del Sol. The Comprehensive Institute House of Soul. That's how I read that. I don't know what soul means in Italian. Anyway, a primary school near Trotter Park. The trans-identified male, who's reported to be a Brazilian national, reportedly exposed his genitals in front of children as they filed in for class. How transphobic of you to arrest that guy.
Again, the weirdo degenerates that are LARPing as trans people are going to destroy the trans movement.
Soul means sun, so that's House of Sun. The Sun House.
Sun House, yeah.
According to fucking something else Italian, the man began shouting obscenities at the people in the front of the school, saying he would infect them with his blood and that he was not just positive, but HIV positive.
Nice South Park reference.
Thank you. Police were called to the scene at approximately 8:15 a.m. and arrived with ambulance support. Officers were quickly able to apprehend the man and placed him in a police vehicle with the intention of driving him to a nearby station. While in the car, the Brazilian man reportedly attempted to self-harm with hairpins in an effort to cause himself to bleed, claiming he wanted to infect everyone with HIV/AIDS. All righty. Nothing to see here.
Yeah,
you're
he wanted to
transphobic.
give them the gift.
Yeah, you're transphobic. You're transphobic if you don't think trans people should be. Well, I mean, that's what we've been told here. If you don't think trans people should be showing their dicks to kids, and you're transphobic. I mean, isn't that what we heard with Pride last year when people were saying, "Hey, don't have your dick out in front of kids," and like, how dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, look,
it's my kink.
The gay community has got to do something about these pedos. Like it's getting. It's the blowback is coming. I'm telling you, you guys have to really start saying, no, we're not with these people. while you can, because I'm telling you, this is going to get really ugly if this shit continues.
I'm so sorry to laugh like that, but Cougar Knife just said Biden just invited him to the White House.
Probably.
Yeah, that would be something he would do. All right, we got a video time.
Hi.
Oh, God.
What?
Why that chick got a mustache? How Italian is she?
Shockingly, this is not related to the prior story.
Is this mustache to match the hair on their balls?
Yes, the shag carpet matches the drapes, I guess.
Jesus Christ.
Hi, it's me, Patagonia, a real-life homosexual.
What? I'm shocked.
No. That is not homosexual. I mean, it's gay as fuck, but that's not homosexual.
No, I don't know what's going on here.
Homosexuals don't have to wear women's clothing.
No. Especially gaudy ones. Like, that's not even tasteful. What happened to when gays had, like, taste and class? You know?
This isn't just gay. That's the problem I have with so much of this.
No, this is performance art.
We talked about that with Mike when he was on here.
Yeah.
You don't have to be fucking weird to be gay. All you got to do is sleep with people of the same sex. The rest of your life can be exactly like it was. You're just banging dudes now instead of banging chicks.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Frank. Did you seriously say blow backle when talking about the gays? Phrasing. Blowback. Well, yeah, I didn't think that one through. Thank you for pointing it out, Frank.
This is insulting to gay people. Anyway.
Yeah.
And today I'm here with the North Face. We are here to invite you to come out.
No. I don't have to come out. I'm straight.
No, North Face says you have to come out, monkey, when they charge you $150 for a sweater.
For a shitty jacket?
Yeah, then you're gonna have to turn tricks, so you better get ready to come out.
In nature with us! Wow, this is nice. We like to call this little tour the Summer of Pride.
Are they wearing anything from North Face?
I have no idea.
It doesn't look like their normal apparel.
I'm not allowed to buy from them because I'm poor. They don't want one of the poors touching their catalogs. Might taint it with poor people juice.
Hi, Satsu. What's up, my friend?
Hey, Satsu.
In chat, his name is Ty the Tuber. He's on his other YouTube channel. Check out Ty the Tuber, guys. All right, so far I haven't seen any. I mean, maybe North Face has decided to go full on gay. I don't know. But this Pride lasts the whole summer now. Well, not Kyle, sorry. Hey, Camel. There was a discussion on Twitter today. This is a true thing, Jack, where I just laughed at a Walmart display for Pride. It's a support your local business thing, and wherever this store is, they have a gay business there, so they have a display in the middle of their thing. And I think it's stupid. I'm tired of all these companies doing their stuff, but I was just making, a little joke. And somebody went, soon Pride will last longer than just a month. And this guy, he piped in that in Canada, it's now not Pride Month. It's not Pride Day. It's not Pride Month or week or month. It is now Pride season.
So they're just annexing summer.
June through September is now Pride season. Look, gay people, you can have the whole rainbow. There's no reason to fight that. You don't get summer. You just don't. Frankly, I can't look at y'all with your dick and balls hanging out all summer long. Nobody should have to for a day. Anyway. So, yeah, The season is coming. The season of Pride is coming, and soon it'll be Pride all the time.
This tour has everything: hiking, community, art, lesbians making art. Last year, we gay saw shade across the nation and celebrated Pride across the nation with hundreds of you across the nation. This year, we're back again with 2 new stops: Atlanta, GA. Why? Because you're there. In Salt Lake City, we're coming for you.
Howdy, here we go.
We're coming for you with all of the
Ew.
innuendo on here.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck, Mormons. You're on your
Of
own.
Salt Lake City has really changed. They've gone pretty woke, which is weird for Mormons. That's what happens with people like Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney proved that you can be a Mormon and have no values at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so.
This year, all these fabulous speakers will be coming from inside this TV to a nature near you. So come outside.
You're celebrating nature with a TV.
All right. And celebrate the beautiful LGHG TV community. That's pretty gay.
That was hella gay, but not homosexual. Seriously, that is such an insult to homosexuals.
Yeah. Well, it's creepy too. Like, first of all, if at least make an effort to like not look like a bizarre freak. You know, shave the mustache if you're going for the trans thing. But that person's just attention seeking. They're not trying to push anything. They're not looking for acceptance. They want to be the weirdest person in the room so that you talk about them. They want attention.
Salt Lake City isn't Mormon any longer. Yeah, it's become, I mean, just like every other shithole leftist city in the country. Which is weird because the Mormons used to keep other people, they used to keep outsiders out, even as big as Salt Lake City was getting.
Yeah.
They were like, they have only Mormon signs up and shit. Well, they wouldn't have those up. That's just, are you Mormon? Or if you weren't, they wouldn't do business with you. They used to take care of their own, Jack. And now they're like, Mitt Romney's an example. The FBI allegedly used at least 12 informants in the Michigan kidnapping case. Well, we knew that. They can't even deny it. The van that went to look at the second home of my bitch-ass governor, 3 of the people of the 5 who were in the van were FBI. Well, 2 of them were FBI. 1 was an FBI informant.
Like you know.
The government employed at least a dozen confidential informants to infiltrate groups of armed extremists who allegedly plotted to kidnap the governor of Michigan after the FBI gave them the idea. The filing made by one of the 5 defendants in a federal case asked the prosecutors be ordered to share more information about those informants, their relationship with the FBI, and the specific roles they played in building the case. It came among a blizzard of 15 new defense motions in the high-profile case, including requests to move it to a different district, to suppress evidence from a search warrant, and to try at least one defendant separately from the others. Yeah, here's the thing. There's a reason they're doing this, guys. There's a reason that they are trying these people together, because if they did it individually, they could not get a conviction.
Yep.
It's the same with the January 6 cases. If you do it individually, they can't make the case. So they have to put all of them in the same room so that they can try to connect these dots in front of a jury who's now hearing about defendant A, and they just kind of connect that with defendant D because, well, that's what they heard. It's despicable and shouldn't be happening. Anyhow, I mean, Jack, we knew this, and there's no way they're going to get that information. They should. But the FBI is going to be out there and like, no, for the safety of those guys, we can't. This is germane to their case, and they absolutely should get it. And if one person gets acquitted before another one's trial ends, that hurts them. True. We've seen, but see, here's the thing: we've seen conspiracy cases like this where defendants are tried individually, and one of them gets off and the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
But they don't want that because they have to have this narrative. But more important than that, I'm sorry, Jack. We've covered most of the stuff with that.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to get through all of these.
That's fine.
This case, I don't want to go over it all again. We have several videos where we've talked about this, but there's decent enough evidence to believe that the FBI is the one who planted this idea.
Oh yeah, at the minimum.
It is not even a question that the original plan was to basically pull a January 6th. And oddly enough, that plan happens on January 6th after the guy who used to be in charge here in Michigan moves to Washington, D.C.
Yep.
True story. All right, moving along. We got two more, Jack. Two more.
Uh-huh.
Kickstarter abruptly suspends comic project for defying transgenderism.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is defying transgenderism?
I think you already know.
Kickstarter abruptly canceled a project that focused on a fictionalized depiction of a biology teacher challenging a law that forbids him to question gender affirmation. According to the project's author, Hans G. Shantz, the illustrated novel The Wise of Heart was previously reviewed and approved by Kickstarter and already passed its original $3,000 goal. Shantz then expanded the goal to $6,000 ahead of the deadline on May 31st, only for Kickstarter to then remove the project, claiming that it violated the community rules. A thorough review of your project uncovered one or more of the following violations. Inappropriate content, including but not limited to explicit or pornographic material. Oh, so you couldn't do a Kickstarter for books that they put in middle schools?
Oh yeah, you could. You could. They've done stuff like that before.
But that says explicit or pornographic material.
Pornographic that they don't like.
Oh, okay. Or hateful or offensive content that fails to meet Kickstarter's spirit of inclusivity by promoting discrimination, bigotry, or intolerance towards marginalized groups. Fuck you and your marginalized group.
That's a one-way street. So,
marginalized group is a bullshit, meaningless term. Go fuck yourself.
You monster.
Shantz criticized the generic note for failing to uphold the spirit of inclusivity that the company presumed to hold. It's sad that Kickstarter lacks a sufficient spirit of diversity and inclusion to be willing to tolerate an objective look at the scientific and political issues surrounding transgenderism as presented in the context of a courtroom drama. He further attacked Kickstarter for not providing him a reason for removing the project after reaching its initial goal. I infer they received a complaint, the substance of which I was not privy to, and took unilateral action without allowing me any input. Yeah, that's the problem with using stuff like this. These are all woke companies, man.
Yeah, no one should be surprised by this because Kickstarter's notorious for this. It's very, very left-leaning. And they did loosen the reins a little bit a while back, but not enough. They rehired some of the same people they got rid of because what they did was they fired everybody that tried to unionize. And then we're like, oh, we had to make some cuts, and then hired a few back. But
Jack, can you put the link for this into YouTube? It won't let me.
I know
you did it once. Will you drop it again? Because it's pushing up. It won't let me post that link to my YouTube.
Yeah, a couple people are having problems typing. It's been telling me error for like I have to click something 2-3 times.
All right. And finally tonight we have... Oh, you know what? Before we move on to that, Kickstarter's the one that wouldn't let Kyle Rittenhouse have a defense fund, right? No, that was GoFundMe.
That was GoFundMe. Kickstarter has kicked people off for being conservative or having something that's deemed conservative.
all of these, there's that one Christian one that allows a little bit more conservative stuff.
Give, send, go.
Give, send, go. But all of the other ones, if you aren't on the lefty train, they're going to take your money.
Yep. But this guy was obviously doing this as a troll anyway, and they proved his point. They proved how censorious they are.
It doesn't matter if it was as a troll. I mean, I hear you, but there's no reason for it.
No, it's just they don't like somebody's opinion, so they got to destroy them.
Yeah. All right. What the fuck is going on here? The hell is this?
Just watch.
You should not. This is dangerous.
What, co-sleeping?
You're gonna smother this child. All right. There was music. Someone stop it.
They're Asian. They'll have whatever. We have more.
Oh yeah, that's how babies sleep. That baby didn't sleep at all. Where'd the kid go? Oh, he's way down here in the corner.
Yeah. Dad's like, what the hell? Where's he? Oh, he's over there. Come here, you.
Yeah, I would not sleep with guardrails with a kid. Oh, yeah.
They're sleeping in a giant playpen.
I can relate to that, man. The girls sleep with us when they come over and they kick the shit out of me all night long.
Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that because it was kind of cute.
There was one night I woke up, Little Butt has her head on me as a pillow and her legs up on Lady Monkey.
Yeah.
She was using us as like some kind of, what were those beds that you could move all around? They're like hospital beds, but you could get them for your house. Shit, I forget the name of them. But yeah, you would know if I said it.
A gurney?
No, not a gurney. There was they used to be on TV all the time.
A cot?
I mean, I think it is basically a Murphy bed, but this was a brand. I know I'm not the only one who saw these commercials.
Are you talking about the like ones you could adjust the firmness of? That
no,
like
Breon, yeah, adjustable bed, Craftmatic adjustable bed.
Yeah,
Craftmatic. You didn't say Craftmatic though.
No, it's adjustable.
But you said yeah, like you had said it.
No, but that's what I meant. That's why I said yeah, because they were reading my mind. You don't want to go in there; it's scary.
Don't let the grand monkeys bully you, monk. Oh, it's impossible to not. If you saw them, you would understand. They are just so adorable. I don't know how their parents tell them no. I have to tell them no occasionally, but most of the time, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead. You're not going to hurt anything. Fuck it. Run through the house. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, here's some scissors. Have fun, kids.
Serenity says, I was about to say, too late for that. No shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's another one in the books as I slap my microphone.
Beating up your microphone already.
I'm taking it out on my microphone. Jack, I fell today really hard.
Well, that's not good.
Tomorrow's going to suck when I actually start feeling it for real. But for tonight, I'm feeling good, and I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Thanks for joining us. Thank you so very much for the donations, the likes, the shares. You guys are fucking awesome. We appreciate it. Jack, anything you want to show?
I'll drop some links to some cool stuff. As always, thank you so much for the donations. You guys are fantastic people. I don't know if we've told you that recently, but we appreciate you coming out and watching our shows and doing all this amazing stuff with us.
Absolutely. Guys, I'm not going to be streaming immediately. I don't know if I will stream tonight. Hopefully I will, but I am going to be over with Satsu here in a few minutes. Excuse me. So sorry. Over with Satsu here in a few minutes on 2 Cents Plus. That's the number 2, CENTSPLUS on Twitch. We're playing some Ark. We got a community server going over there, and we're having a lot of fun. So if you want to, please come hang out and listen to me and Satsu as we hunt dinosaurs and swear a lot. What, you want me to lie to people?
No, your honesty was brutal.
2 nights ago, me and Satsu were playing. I don't think we were online. And he said something, and I replied, and he said, Monkey, why are you the way you are? That's what you get in the gaming stream. So come check them out. That is 2 Cents Plus on Twitch. Jack, thank you for joining me, my friend.
I'm always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. We will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Sometimes it sucks when a woman has giant balls. I don't know where I'm going with that.